Hey Polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Wind Lacquer. In today's video, we are continuing on with part 2 of another mystery box. This one was $40 for a box of 60 nail polishes. Very excellent price. So far we've come across some really fun brands, some of my favorites even. In part 1 we unboxed 31, and in today's video I'm expecting to unbox 29. So let's go ahead and dig in. Right off the bat we are pulling out a glam polish. This one is called The Return of the Living Dead, and this one doesn't look familiar. It doesn't sound familiar either. This is not exactly the type of color that I would have necessarily purchased myself, but I do like this tone of kind of a neon green. There's not a liminess to it, which I think I might actually like on. There are some purple glitters in here as well, which always helps things. And there is a shimmer. I'm seeing a pink to gold, and I think there's also a scattering of hollow glitter in here. So really interesting, fun mix. I'll have to see if I like this on, but I will be keeping it. I do like my glam polishes. Eventually I might have to come back and do some comparisons of my bright greens and see if I can whittle it down, but so far we're going to keep it. That was Glam Polish, The Return of the Living Dead. Alright, on to another one. Ooh, we've got another Cadillacer. We had quite a few from this brand in part 1. This is one of my favorite brands, so I was really excited to see it in this box, especially for the price. I was not expecting that at all. So this one is called My Perfect Silence, and this one is gorgeous. It is a deep dusty tone of purple. It's got a variety of multi-chrome flakies in it, everything from fall colors to some blues that I'm seeing. So really fun mix. I do love this kind of a polish in general, and I don't have one yet in this color, so I'm excited to add this one to the collection. I think this would make a beautiful one for fall. So that is Cadillacer's My Perfect Silence. Next one, we have a Pretty Beautiful Unlimited and an older bottle. So this one is called Sea Goat, and this is another green. We actually got quite a lot of greens in part 1, and this is an interesting shade. Yeah, I don't know what I would call this necessarily. Maybe a light grassy green. There are a load of things going on. Pretty Beautiful Unlimited, in my experience, is pretty well known for her kitchen sink polishes. She has a bunch of different things going on. You've got shimmer, you've got hollow, and multi-chrome flakies. I am curious about if I would like this color on. It's an unusual shade of green for me. I do, as you saw, like some of the brighter shades of green, although I can't really speak to having worn them all that often. This one does have a beautiful shimmer going on. Maybe what we'll do is we'll give it a shot. We'll add it to my collection for the time being and at least swatch it and see. I think this one could make an interesting topper over other colors because it does seem to be a little bit on the sheer side. So that was Pretty Beautiful Unlimited's Sea Goat. Next up, we have one from Fan Chromatic Nails. This one is called Fell Beast, and this is an unusual color. What is this base? Like a tan army green. So there's a lot of things going on in this as well. There is a shimmer and a multi-chrome flaky in there. I'm just not so sure I see myself wearing a color like this. The base is a bit ashy for me. I don't know how to describe it. It's a bit dull for my liking, so I think I will go ahead and add this to the D-stash. So that was Fan Chromatic Nails Fell Beast. Next one, ooh, we've got one from Scofflaw. This one is called Moriarty, and this is a really interesting shade of like a dusty mulberry shade. There's a pinch of a burgundy lean to it. This has an interesting mix of glitters. There is like a light pink or a sheer silver flaky that I think you can see there sparkling away. There's also possibly a matte black glitter in here. I do really like this color. I think this could make a beautiful one for fall, and it's definitely one that I don't have. So we're going to add Scofflaw's Moriarty to my collection. Next up, we have one from Polish-Aholic, and this one is called Oriental Poppy. This is cute and it's a new to me brand. So this is in line with the similar polish type that I really enjoy. I could probably make a rainbow in my collection with these types of polishes by now. This one is in kind of a dusty cantaloupe shade. The multichrome flakies are gold, blue, and green. This is very cute. I could definitely see myself wearing it. So we'll be adding this new to me brand to my collection. That was Polish-Aholic Oriental Poppy. And if you are familiar with this brand, definitely let me know down below. All right, next one. Ooh, we've got another one from Scofflaw. This one is a prototype. I think I got another prototype of theirs in part 1 and it was adorable. This one is also very cute. This time we have a very, very light green. Then you have brighter green glitters, some silver glitters. I want to say it's possible there's some hollow in here. Yep, there's a hollow piece right there. There's some darker colors, maybe a dark blue. This is an interesting combination. Not exactly as exciting as the first prototype, which I actually still have out. There is the purple one. So this one, I don't know. I just don't see myself reaching for this kind of a polish. I think mainly it's those green glitters. It's a pretty straightforward, not quite a primary green, but kind of a lighter shade of a primary green. So those primary shades just aren't my favorite. So I think I will go ahead and destash this one. This was Scofflaw's prototype. Only our second one to go in the destash. All right, next up we have one from Pretty Serious. This one is called Nuke the Fridge. And this is an interesting one. I'm not actually sure what the base color would be. Oh, interesting. I think it might be a blue. Look at that. But it is so jam-packed full of this shimmer that it's really hard to tell what the base color is. The shimmer component is that greeny gold. I think we will go ahead and swatch this one. I want to see how it looks. So yeah, definitely a blue on that first coat. Just very full of that shimmer component. It applies nicely in one coat though. I still don't know if on camera you're going to be able to see that base very well. There you go. That's that blue. All right, let's see what a second coat does. My guess is that the shimmer is going to be even more prominent and the base color even harder to see or to distinguish, I should say. All right, so there we have 2 coats. I mean, it's a very interesting color. I'm just not sure it's one that I see myself reaching for. So I think we will go ahead and destash this one. So that was Pretty Serious Nuke the Fridge. Next up, ooh, we've got another from Glam Polish. This one is called Life Under the Sea is Better. This is so cute. So this is a light, kind of a dusty sky blue, and then it is full of this really fun neon glitter combination. You have bright pink, bright green, you've got this marigold yellow orange, there's purple, and it's all in a variety of sizes as well. This is very, very cute, and I do love the Little Mermaid reference, so I will be adding this to the collection. I do need to double check and make sure that I don't have this already. I want to say I do have a couple polishes from them that have this similar composition of a crelly base with a neon glitter mix, so I do need to double check on that, but so far I'm going to add that to the collection. That was Glam Polish, Life Under the Sea is Better. All right, next one. Oh, we've got one from Level Up. This one is called Sand and Succulents. So this is interesting. Oh, they're made in Alaska. Very interesting. So I have seen this brand before. I don't know if I've seen them in Polished Pickup before, or it's possible in Polished Gamers, but I don't have that many from this brand, and I definitely don't have this one. This is another interesting shade of green. It's kind of yellow green, maybe like a cactus green, which would fit the name since they were going for succulents there. This one does have some multichrome flakies in it, as well as a light gold. I'm curious again if I would actually like this one on. It's an unusual tone for me as far as the green goes. I think I will go ahead and destash this one. Yeah, I just don't see myself reaching for this, so we will go ahead and add that to the destash. That was Level Up Lacquers, Sand and Succulents. Next one, we have one from Ever After. This one is called Shiranar, and very cute little picture there of a cute little dragon. This one is a lilac or lavender shade, and it is full of hollow and multichrome flakies. So this is another one that kind of falls into that same category of polishes that I really do enjoy. A crelly or jelly base loaded with multichrome flakies. This one does seem like it might be a little on the sheer side to accommodate the holographic pigment in there, but it's very cute and one that I definitely don't have. So we're going to add that to the collection. Eventually, as with a lot of my colors, I'm going to have to do some comparisons here soon. So that was Ever After's Shiranar. Next one, we have a Zoya. This one is called Gemma. Now, I'm pretty sure I do have this one. This is a very interesting shade of green. It is a bit of a dusty sage color. And what's really interesting is this blue flash in it that has a little bit of pink at certain angles. Since I do already have it, I don't need a backup bottle of it, so I will be destashing it, but it is a very pretty color. That was Zoya's Gemma going in the destash. Next one, I think we might have two more in this bag. This one is from Hit Polish, another new to me brand, and this one is called Bloodstone. This came out in their Mineral Gemstone collection. This is a very nice shade of green. It is a dark tone, but it's not quite so blackened out that it is hard to tell that it's a dark green. It has an interesting glitter mix in it. There are some black matte glitters, some red, either holographic or metallic, and then a concoction of different types of flakies. So this is one that I think I would be curious to at least try. Man, look at the tone of green. That is rather nice. I think you can see on the wand portion of the brush that it's going to be a little bit on the sheerer side. So I don't really know if I could see myself wearing this, but let's go ahead and swatch it and see. Let's just do that right now and see if it's something that I could see myself wearing. So yeah, definitely on the sheerer side to accommodate all of the goodies in there. There is one coat. You can see the scattering of the glitters in there. Actually, some of the red that I was seeing I think are from iridescent glitters. Let's go ahead and build that up in a second coat. Definitely builds up a little, but it is still sheer. So there it is in two coats. Yeah, definitely iridescent. You see those twinkling away beautifully on the nail. I think that's definitely catching my eye. I love iridescent glitters, but let's go ahead and see what a third coat does. All right, so there we have 3 coats. It's still a little bit on the squishy side. I think I would probably end up wearing this over a blurring base coat or maybe a dark green and just layer 2 coats over it. But I do like the iridescent glitters in there, and it is a nice shade of green. I think it's a little bit lighter than it's coming across on my screen. But very nice one and pretty unique to my collection. Actually, very unique to my collection. So I think we're going to go ahead and add that to my collection to at least try out. That was Hit Polish Bloodstone. All right, and the last polish in this bag is from Polish. And this one is called Hoodies, Leaves, and S'mores. And this is another green, this time in sort of a deep evergreen shade. There's a little bit of brightness in it still that I don't think is really coming across on camera. There's a load of different components in this one as well. There are flakies and glitters. Mainly in person I'm seeing them in like a gold, but on camera you can see little speckles of like a pink. So another very interesting combination here. Here's a look at hopefully the tone a little bit better there on the wand. I think it's still darkening it quite a bit. I mean, it is a dark color, but it's not quite as dark as it's coming across. I think I will go ahead and destash this one. I am a bit finicky on my deeper shades of green, and this one just isn't speaking to me with the colors that I'm seeing in the flakies. So we're going to go ahead and destash that one. That was Polish's Hoodies, Leaves, and S'mores. All right, on to our last bag. We have another from Polish. This one is called Blood Lily, and this is a very vibrant shade of orange. This has a bunch of larger shimmers in it. There's a bright pink and a gold. I actually really like this tone of orange. I can't say necessarily that I've worn it yet, but I think I want to at least swatch this and see how it compares to some of my other oranges and see which ones I want to go ahead and keep in my permanent collection. But this is a really nice one. I want to at least swatch it and see. I do really like the pink against the orange. That is one of my favorite combinations. So that was Polish's Blood Lily. Next up we have Ooh, we've got a Schlee polish. This one is called Sea Fairy. And look at the combination here. We've got this squishy deep blue, and it is loaded with iridescent components in flaky form and glitter. This is definitely going in the collection. I have a handful from this brand, and I don't have this one yet, and it is gorgeous. So we're going to be adding that to the collection. That was Schlee Polish Sea Fairy. Next up, oh, we have one from Emily Damali. This one is called Region Specific, and this is more my shade of green. This is kind of a deep jungle green, and this one has a scattering of some components in there. I think those might be either a light metallic or maybe a white matte in there. This one should be very interesting to swatch, and like I said, I do really like this kind of color, and I like Emily Damali, so we're definitely going to add this one to the collection. That was Emily Damali's Region Specific. Next one, ooh, interesting one here. This one is from Colorista Carol, and this one is called Sun's Out, Papaya's Out. This one came out in her Exotic Fruits collection from HHC in August 2021. And this, well, as you can see, is very, very interesting. Papaya orange is a pretty good description here as well. And then you have some glitters that represent the papaya seeds. There's also a red shimmer and a holographic component. This one is a little bit outside my wheelhouse with all of these larger black glitters against a lighter base. I do really like the base itself though with that red shimmer, but I just don't know that I would reach for it with all of this really dark glitter against this base, so I think I will go ahead and destash this one. This was Colorista Carol's Sun's Out, Papaya's Out. Next one, we have a Blue-Eyed Girl lacquer. These are handmade in Georgia, and this one is called Merman Pops. Merman. So this is a Zoolander reference. This one came out in the color box for July 2016. Wow. So I don't think I had even discovered Indie Polish in 2016. So this one is one that I definitely don't have. I think I have a handful from this brand though. But this is a very pretty color. It's like a dusty blue. This one has a bunch of those multi-chrome flakies that I really like in that crushed size. And it has a larger glass fleck shimmer particle in a gold to pink. This is one that I could definitely see myself liking, so we're going to add that one to the collection. That was a Blue-Eyed Girl lacquer. Merman Pops Merman. Next one. Ooh, we've got another from Glam Polish. This one is called I'm Basically Married to a Sexy Buzz Lightyear. Okay, that's got to be a reference to something, but I don't know what. This is a very, very light blue, and it is again loaded with some fun neon glitters. There's blue, that tennis ball green, yellow, orange, and purple. Did I say blue? And there's a scattering of hollow. This is another one that I could definitely see myself wearing, perhaps even for a spring polish. And it's one that I definitely don't have, so we're going to add that to the collection. That was Glam Polishes I'm Basically Married to a Sexy Buzz Lightyear. If you know what that is in reference to, definitely let me know down below. All right, next one. Ooh, we've got a bow polish, and this one is called Worlds Collide. And by the name, I would say this is not one that I own yet. I don't think. I did get quite a few from this brand in another mystery box, so I will have to double check just to make sure that this is not a repeat, but this is a very pretty shade. It is a very deep teal, and then it has these dark blue flakies in it. Look at that. There's also a scattering of, I want to say either maybe a teal flaky in those smaller sizes. Either that, or it could be that they are a holographic flaky and they're just picking up on the teal base color. But in any case, this is very, very beautiful. I could definitely see myself reaching for this one. So that is Bow Polish Worlds Collide going in the collection. Next one. We have, we've got another from Cadillacquer. This one is Origins. So this is the one that I was talking about in part 1. We did unbox a similar polish to this in part 1 from Cadillacquer, and I do already own this one. It was one that I had immediately added to my wish list when I saw that they were releasing it. It is a beautiful color. The cold state here is kind of a dark terracotta. It does warm up in its thermal state to a slightly lighter orange, if I'm remembering correctly, and then it has these beautiful multi-chrome flakies in a variety of sizes and colors. I'm seeing everything from gold to orange, and then it even has these blue and maybe even purple in there. So very fun mix, but I do already have it, so I will be destashing this one. That was Cadillacers Origins. Next one, we have another Cadillacer. We have been getting a lot from this brand in this box, and I'm loving it. So this is Cadillacers Hug the Dog, and this is a very cute minty polish. It does need a bit of a mix-up. There we go. So this one also has those multi-chrome flakies in a fall tone. I'm seeing them in golds and oranges. There's also a scattering of some glitter in there. This is beautiful. It is right up there in that type of polish that I always really enjoy, these smaller flakies in a curly base, and I definitely don't have this one, so we're going to be adding this to the collection. So that is Cadillacers Hug the Dog. Next up, we have another Emily DeMolly. This one is called Limited Edition 52. Ooh. Okay, so I know they're in at least the 300s, if not the 400s by now in their limited editions. So this one is probably back a few years, which is really exciting because most of the limited editions that I have from her are at least in the 100s. So the likelihood is I don't have this one yet. And this is a really pretty teal or turquoise base, and then it is full of a very fun mix of small glitters. I'm seeing purple, green, and gold, so maybe like a Mardi Gras theme. And there's also a smaller shimmer particle in there. Yeah, this is a fun combination. I could definitely see myself reaching for this. And like I said, it's probably one that I don't have yet. So we're going to add that to the collection. That was Emily DeMolly's Limited Edition 52. Next one, we've got another one from Cadillacer. Wow. This one is called Seek the Fire. This one is a mid-toned blue, and it is full of this red metallic glitter. Look at that. So red glitters are interesting in polish. They're not as exciting to me as a red shimmer particle, but I do think that this one could look really neat on. This is probably more how it would look on, a little bit more dispersed in that base. So I want to at least keep this to swatch and give it a try. It is very unique in my collection. Quite a lot of these red glitter polishes usually end up in my D-stash, but for the time being, I want to at least swatch this and see if I like it. So that was Cadillacers Seek the Fire. Next one. Ooh, we've got a topper from Polish Molish. This one is called Lego on the Floor, and it is a glitter top coat. And there you go, glitter galore. This has such vibrant shades. You've got red, hot pink, bright yellow. I think there's that tennis ball green again. Did I say the red? There's a lot going on in here. The red, again, is kind of throwing me most of the time with these glitters. The bright shades of like pink, blue, and green are fine by me. But the red, again, sort of throws me as far as if I think I would use it. I totally get the inspiration, though, because Legos do have red bricks in them. So totally fits the inspiration, but I do think I will be adding this one to the D-stash. I already need to go through my glitter toppers that are like this and whittle them down, because as much as I love them, I just haven't been using them lately. So I need to decide which ones I'm actually going to be keeping and then start to use them. So this one was Polish Molish, Lego on the Floor, going in the D-stash. Next up, we have another one from Cadillacer. Again, this is really awesome from this box. So this one is called Equilibrium. This is a very pretty shade of green, and it has a nice subtle mix of glitters in there. You've got a scattering of some micro black glitters. There's some silver hollow and some red. There's a better look at some of that glitter that has settled. Nice twinkles and sparkles. So yeah, pretty interesting combination. Again, I'll have to see how I like it on, but I do like polishes that end up looking slightly speckled on the nail. So we'll have to see how I like that, but I think I will like it. So that was Cadillacer's Equilibrium. Next up, we've got another Emily DeMolly. This one is called Tide Pool. Okay, I don't think I have this one. I want to say I remember when this one came out, and I know I was kind of on the fence, but this is beautiful in person. It is a turquoise crelly base full of these brighter deep blue metallic glitters. This is gorgeous. Emily DeMolly is one of those brands that is at the top of my most owned bottles, so I have quite a lot of them, and I don't really recall if I ended up grabbing this or not, but it is really pretty. So same rules as always apply if you are new. Usually what happens if I don't own it, it goes in my collection. If I end up finding out that I do have it, it'll go in the D-stash. So that was Emily DeMolly's Tide Pool. Next up, we have another from Polish. This one is called Longleaf Pine. Ooh, look at this one. So I was going to say that we've got another green, but I think the base of this is actually a deep blue. It does need a little bit of a shake. Then we'll take a look at it on the brush to see if I'm right about that blue. Yeah, so this has a beautiful blue-green base in a jelly formula. The combination of flakies in here is really, really pretty. It definitely has some green in it, which I think you can kind of see there at the base. Some of the creaminess of the polish I think has settled, but a beautiful mix of those components. I am seeing greens and golds and some turquoises or aqua. So this is definitely one I could see myself reaching for. It sort of reminds me of like a deep mermaid shade, and I love those kind of polishes. So we're definitely going to add this one to the collection. Again, probably have to compare this at some point to all of my other mermaidy shades and just make sure that I haven't accidentally duped myself. That was Polish's Longleaf Pine. Next one we have, we've got one from Crow's Toes. So this is another brand that no longer makes polish, and I didn't have that many when they closed down. They were another brand that just sort of, at least from what I saw, sort of disappeared. And I don't think I have this one. This is called Death Warmed Over. And look at this interesting polish. Look at those flakies. So this is a very intriguing mix. The base color, I want to say, is like a green, maybe a blue-green. Maybe a bit of gray in there. There are some larger flakies in here. There's also some holographic glitter, and of course that maybe multi-chrome shift, because I'm seeing pink to green to gold to maybe a little bit of blue. So very interesting polish. I will definitely be adding this to the collection. Oh, look at that. Even a little bit of that red shimmer. This is a very cool polish. So we're going to add that new Crow's Toes to my collection. That was Death Warmed Over. Very excited about that one. All right, we've got a couple more. Ooh, this one is from Glam Polish, and this is called Genie, You're Free. So this is an Aladdin polish, and I want to say that this is one that I really wanted to get when she released it, and I don't think I ever did. So very excited to be able to add this one to my collection. This is definitely one that I could see myself reaching for. It kind of reminds me of like a blueberry smoothie. The mix in here is in a beautiful, like somewhere between a cornflower blue and a periwinkle base. You've got these blue metallic glitters and iridescent flakies. This is gorgeous. So definitely one going to my collection. Like I said, I was excited when it was released. I just never ended up placing an order. So that was Glam Polish Genie, You're Free. On to our last polish of this mystery box, and we're ending it out with an Emily Damali. This one is called Source of Life, and look at this polish. So this is another in that sort of a deep teal color. You have a load of hollow, and then you've got iridescent flakies. This is another beautiful one, and I don't think I have this one either. So we're going to add that to the collection, and that was Emily Damali's Source of Life. All right, so there we have it. That was part 2 of my $40 mystery box for 60 bottles. We ended up with 32 polishes, which means she sent 3 extra bottles, so a really big thank you. That was very generous on an already very wonderfully priced box. I had a lot of fun opening this. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun watching. I ended up with quite a lot from brands that are my favorites, like Glam Polish, Cadillac, and Emily Damali, as well as a lot of other brands that I do enjoy. We did have quite a lot that I ended up destashing. We've got 9 polishes that are going straight to the destash, either because I already owned them like this Cadillac, or because they were just colors that I don't see myself really reaching for. But overall, very pleased with this box, especially for the price. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me and looking at fun polish. Hopefully you guys had a good time. Let me know down below which ones were your favorites. And as always, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.